When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you are still there and that you didn't unsubscribe. Why am I singing? Why am I smiling? Hey, it's easy, because when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. We are speaking about Federico Chiesa that is back in training with the Bianconeri, with his teammates touching the ball. Look at his smile, it's super exciting, super happy. Guys, we are back for the day after video. The day after what? Well, the day after Juventus winning 3-0 versus Bologna. Long video today, split in two parts. The first one, it's actually what the media is saying about our beloved Juventus. Second part, for the people that loves it, it's tactically. Because if you're winning 3-0, you did some good things. So let's analyze how we did the good things, but also what we can improve, what we can do better with some supported images and tactical stats and so on and so on. We'll speak also about the performance about Milik, because he did just simply fantastic yesterday. Put a maximum of like, subscribe to the channel. If you unsubscribed for the song, please subscribe again, because we needed to grow that beautiful community. We start immediately opening Corriere dello Sport. We sing La Juve fa la Juve. It reminds a bit Angel Di Maria saying La Juve è la Juve, Juventus is Juventus. This time they go with Juventus is doing Juventus. Which of the three papers is representing me the most today with their title? Is it the one of Corriere dello Sport, Juventus is doing Juve? Yes. Actually, they did. They did what they had to do versus Salernitana and Monza, and they were not able to do. It means winning. Winning and convincing with that beautiful 3-0 of yesterday. Is it Gazzetta dello Sport with their title, Signora si rinasce? The old lady is born again. Maybe I have to say that it's a bit early to say that Juventus is born again. Maccabi Haifa on Wednesday, and then the game of Milan will already give us a bit more indication, even if we have that second game versus Maccabi, and then the Derby della Mole, 5 games in 14 days that will show if Juventus, yes or no, are born again. You can't permit yourself to make some mistakes. Is it the one of Tutto Sport? Maybe yes, probably yes. I will tell you less, because they are saying Squilli di Juve, notification rings of Juventus, and this is what it is. Some signs, not a complete phenomenal super Juve yesterday, but some signs of Juve that is allowing me and all of us to start believing again in a Juventus that can do better than what we saw in September. So 3 pages, the one that is actually representing me today is Tutto Sport. So let's go inside all the papers to see what they are saying before attacking the stats and the tactical part. We go double page. Juventus is rising again and is making the supporters again enjoying. There is again a peace, a sign of peace with the stadium that yesterday during the 90 minutes were celebrating and supporting the guys, because they were happy about the performance that Juventus was delivering yesterday. Kostic and Vlahovic, and then the beautiful pearl of Milik. What a beautiful goal. What about Allegri? He said, and that's, I believe, what we all saw yesterday, the spirit of Juventus back. We saw it for parts of the game. Juventus, and that's the most important thing, not only for 80 minutes of 20 minutes, but for 90 minutes of the game. Consistency, being able to manage the game with the ball in their feet, and that was really beautiful. A Juventus with some spirit again, because we had no in the month of September. And it's really beautiful to see Milik. Milik is beautiful, that's what he's saying, but especially with Dusan Vlahovic. A lot of people were saying he's a bench player, he's a vice Vlahovic. He's proving all of us that we were wrong, because not only is a vice Vlahovic, but it's actually in duo where both of them are actually being the best. We are going inside Gazzetta dello Sport. They are speaking about the twins of the goal, not about Arkadiusz Milik and Dusan Vlahovic, but Vlahovic and the other Serbian player. They are speaking about Kostic. They already did it with the Serbian national team. They did it again yesterday. This time not with Kostic to Vlahovic, but from Vlahovic an assist to Kostic. What a beautiful goal. First goal in Bianconero. Speaking about numbers, 50th up for Locatelli with Juventus, and 482nd presence appearance for Bonucci, that is equalizing Roberto Bettega, being the 6th player 6 most players with the most appearances. Incredible for Capitano Bonucci that yesterday played a really great game as well. The connection is perfect between the two Serbian players, and we saw it yesterday. Not only that, they are going inside with a third one. Hey, they're speaking about Milik, because after the goals of Dusan Vlahovic and Kostic, there was the third one of Milik, and what a goal. Incredible goal. After 1 month, we are winning again. They are saying La Juve Serba tira su Allegri. The Serbian Juve is actually putting Allegri again up after the 2 weeks of disaster where we only were able to read Allegri out, Allegri out, Allegri out. Is it enough to say Allegri in? No, we have a lot of games to play. I tell you, the next ones are Maccabi Haifa in Champions League in our out game. Then the Milan game, a big test for Juventus that is not able to win versus a top 4 team since so long. Since the Allegri 2.0, we have to convince, we have to beat Milan. We have to try to beat Milan. And then Maccabi Haifa and the Derby della Mola versus Torino. What are the words of Kostic? Kostic said yesterday, I'm super happy to score my first goal and also for the win, especially for the win, which was really important. We had to come out of a difficult month. I thank Dusan for the assist, and I want to reciprocate now. So he want to do it also an assist for Dusan Vlahovic. He was super happy, now focusing on Champions League. Massimiliano Allegri, we already spoke and told what he said yesterday, and then you have an Alessandro that is actually saying that he was happy for the win, super happy about the moment. Yesterday actually he played quite good, Alessandro, but he's saying I want to stay at Juventus, then I will do everything I can to show Juventus that I deserve to stay, but the decision is not mine. The people of Juventus, the management of Juventus will decide. Guys, I want your comments. What do you do with Alessandro next year? You keep, you let him go for free? My opinion is that we should let him leave for free. We should look for another left back. But okay, we go for it. Who was the best man of yesterday? We have the ratings of Tuttosport and Gazzetta dello Sport, and it's actually quite funny because yesterday I said for me it's really difficult to go and to choose for a man of the match. Well, Gazzetta dello Sport and Tuttosport, they had the same difficulties. If Gazzetta dello Sport was saying that the best man was Vlahovic with a 7, and actually the worst was Bremer with a 6. You have actually on Tuttosport Super Bremer with a 6.5. They're actually saying that he did an amazing game, and not Vlahovic but Milik as the best one with a 7.5. Who was man of the match for you? Who played really well? Speaking about Milik, best of the match according to Tuttosport, I went inside the game and now we are starting to speak a bit more tactically. Well, yesterday I was really impressed by that first goal. Not by Kostic, not by Vlahovic, but by the work rate of Milik. Because yesterday you see that at a certain moment, when it was 0-0, a Bologna player has the ball and you see the defensive support from Milik. He understands the situation, so he's going on pressure on that player. He's going with a tackle, and that tackle deflected goes immediately in the feet of Dusan Vlahovic with a really beautiful control, able to go on counter-attack. But that's really beautiful because he's offering another solution on the right side. He's giving Dusan Vlahovic the possibility to go on the left to Kostic, what he's doing, or on the right side to Milik that was totally free there. And then you see that Kostic has also some possibility or going on target and go with a goal, what he did, and luckily it's 1-0, or he could even go with his left and preferred foot with a cross for Milik that was totally unmarked. Intelligence tactically, but also sacrificing for the team. When I'm saying sacrificing, you can see it immediately in the heat map, because that's the heat map of Milik yesterday, showing a lot of presence there in the middle of the field. You see the two different beautiful areas where he was present the most. He did play yesterday as a kind of number 10, as a trequartista, not as a Roberto Baggio, Dybala and so on, but in terms of presence. So to give actually Dusan Vlahovic the freedom to stay up, but not isolated. And that's a big difference. In the past, he was there up, but isolated. This time you have a link, and it was Arkadiusz Milik. You see a Juventus with average position that was playing quite well. 8 players in the opposition half of Bologna. You see all our players, and where we were all thinking that Juventus would go with a 4-4-2, when we saw the initial lineups, what do we see here? Well, we see a 4-2-3-1 with a key game in the first half of Weston McKennie that played on the right side in that 4-2-3-1 with Rabiot and Locatelli in the middle of the field, with Kostic on the left, super wide to actually make sure that Bologna would go a bit wider. And then you see a number 14, Arkadiusz Milik, behind Vlahovic. What about the second half? When in the second half a few things changed because we saw two subs, Cuadrado in and also Paredes in, changing the game, still continuing with that 4-2-3-1, but this time you see that we were really a lot focused in the center of the field. Why? Because there was a big presence of the Bologna players, so we limited them here in the middle of the field, giving actually the possibility to Bologna to go wide, especially on the left side with Cambiaso and the number 7 Orsolini against Alexandro. Alexandro was alone versus these two players, but it was a choice that we took to play big and more centrally. What caused actually that we lost a bit of ball possession yesterday. At the end, we finished the game with 48 in a big game where Juventus was playing. We were having that possession, and then we gave the ball to Bologna. That was absolutely not dangerous. 48% for them. What do we see? That Juventus was, in terms of territorial dominance, 30 or nearly 30%, 27.8% in the final third of Bologna. Beautiful and big presence in their area. Beautiful, only 19 in our area. And then you see that Juventus, they opted to go a lot to Kostic, 42% of the time, 33% on the right side. That means that Juventus is not neglecting one side. One on the left, one on the right, and also sometimes partially centrally. So Juventus is using these three possibilities, something that we were not able to do last year, and we see more and more this season. 455 passes, but the most important and the most beautiful stat here is 77% of pass accuracy in opposition half. If we want to score goals, we have to be precise in opposition half, and this is what Juventus did yesterday, and they did it really well. A lot of players touched the ball yesterday, 69 for Bonucci and for Bremer, the same touches, and then the fullbacks with 67 for Danilo and 63 for Alexandro. Manuel Locatelli touched a lot of balls, 62. He could have become the player with most touch balls if he was not subbed out at the 77th minute. So the players touched a lot of balls, 621 touches yesterday. But I was really surprised yesterday is seeing all the players that entered, Moiskin, Moiskin, Juan Cuadrado, Paredes, Fabio Miretti, all of them touched the balls and they had a pass accuracy of 100%. That means that we can count of the people that are coming from the bench. They entered and they didn't miss any pass. Grande. This is what we want to see continuing. What about the shots? 17 shots on goal for Juventus, 6 on target. We tried from every single position, 3 times also from outside of the box, a lot of time from the left side inside the box, with a lot of players that took their chance from that part of the field. Maybe we can increase a bit from the right side, but Weston McKennie, when he went centrally with his header. Then we see that Arkadiusz Milik did an amazing and a fantastic game. 4 shots for him, 2 on target. We have also the post that is not counted as a shot of target. Amazing game for him. He was extraordinary, but then you see that a lot of players took their chance. We also see that Adrien Rabiot took his chance 3 times, and this is what we want to see. Our midfielders that are taking their chance. What about the other news? Because I told you it was a longer video. Well, we finished with going back to the beginning of the video with Federico Chiesa, that is back. The team is back. We have no rest day. Immediately after the win of yesterday, we were back in the training center in La Continasa, already thinking and preparing the game of Champions League. That is a crucial one. Look at Federico Chiesa smiling. He was happy. He was happy. He was hugging Cuadrado because finally we have him. He will not be there in Champions League. Let's wait a bit, but time, give a bit of time and he will be back, and I can't wait to see our number 7 on the pitch. The one that will be there versus Maccabi Haifa will be Di Maria. Di Maria, that is suspended in Serie A, had opportunity to rest. We are expecting a lot of things from him. Then Mohamed El Shahali speaking about the future, about next season. Probably it will be without Juan Cuadrado. Juan Cuadrado that we tried to give an offer to a different team in the summer. At the end, he stayed. I'm happy with the performance of him yesterday. He entered for these 20-30 last minutes and he did really great. Hopefully we can have these performances until the end of the season. And I believe we have still one last news, is the one of Juventus already looking for a new sporting director to assist and to help Cherubini, being actually Giuntoli, the one of Napoli, that is doing really incredible, beautiful things. Apparently the first talks already started. guys, this was it for me for the video. Lot of information, media, tactical part, and then the breaking news, Federico Chiesa, Giuntoli, Quadrado, and so on and so on. What I want to know, if you are still here at the end of the video, is from you guys, which part you preferred. The first part with the media, the second part tactically, or the last part, the extra news. Let me know. Grazie, forza, Juve.